and I feel that's weird to admit to myself, basically. Like,
Okay. Maybe it's not meant for
it's just,
you.
it can be really boring. To do it for the right reasons in the beginning, of course.
Tim, what is up? Welcome to my channel. Thanks for being
Hey,
here.
Danie. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Tim, you gotta wave with your panda puppet. Hello.
Oh, yeah, we just realized we've got the same panda.
You gotta do a little dance.
And we realized we might have both bought them in Vietnam. Did you get yours in Vietnam?
Yeah, I did. Except I got mine in Hanoi.
Yeah, but your face is, bring
Oh
them
my
closer.
gosh, we look the same. Okay.
Side profile. Yeah, your nose is definitely bigger. Right?
There's been smushed in the moves. Yeah.
All right.
But anyway, so this is our part 2 of our video mini series together of Spilling the Tea. So
Yeah, that's right. Spill the tea.
grab your tea if you've got it, and let's dive right into some questions. But first, Tim, could you please introduce yourself? I know many people at my channel probably are familiar with you because you also do a lot of GOGOKID videos. And so, online teacher, what's up?
Online teacher dude, that's right. So I've been, I live in Malaysia. I've lived in Southeast Asia for, Asia for 10 years. I taught in Beijing at an international school, and then in Malaysia, and then fell into online teaching and teach for VIPKID. I have contracts with GOGOKID, Zebra English, several others, but my main one is VIPKID. And I have helped lots of teachers get hired with many different companies over the years. And now that is, yeah, so for online teaching, that's basically my VIPKID is my jam right now.
Cool. VIPKID's your go-to, and you refer a lot. So what's your top tip for someone that's like, I've decided I want to get into referring?
My top tip for someone who wants to get into referring is to do it for the right reasons in the beginning. Of course, getting, that part of my income is wonderful, and it has built over time. But to get into it for the right reasons and to not see the money in the beginning, because you're not going to, it takes a long time. Like it does, but it doesn't take, an incredible amount of time. It just takes time to build, and be in it for the right reasons, and be authentic and be yourself, and really genuinely want to help people, because
yes, for sure.
I think that's what I had so many word of mouth referrals, and people came to me because they felt like I was being authentic. Little did they know. No, I'm kidding. But it felt like I was being authentic in wanting to help people, and I really did, and I really enjoyed that part of it. And the money aside from it, the feeling of that you've helped somebody, and they've been able to quit their job.
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
heard so many amazing stories because they found a video of mine that was inspiring. They trusted me to be their referral. I was able to help them get hired. So
yeah, that's awesome.
And you refer as well, right? What's been your referring journey?
Yeah, I love referring. I think I like referring even more than, well, that's not true. I think referring and my favorite regulars are the same. I love referring.
Yeah.
I've made some really close friends from referring, actually. Like people that I regularly talk to on like almost a weekly basis now. So that's awesome. I really like it, but that's true. It scales. And I think sometimes referring gets a bad rap. People are like, oh, I don't like, it's salesy. I'm like, well,
yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
100% don't do it, right? But for me, like, I love connecting with people, talking to people. It's enjoyable for me to help them through it. So, and I like making videos. So it's just, but you're right. Like the money in the beginning is not good. And even it fluctuates, right? Like some months are awesome. Some months are like hardly anything. So it's just kind of, you can't, like anything, you can't really rely on it. That's like always what I say, if people want to build YouTube channels in my program and they want to refer, I'm like, okay, cool. But that can't be your end goal. Right. For my users, my end goal isn't to be referring always. My end goal is to, have people in my program and help them build their own businesses. But but it's great.
It's so funny because that's what I wanted. That is what I built. I thought referring would just always be around. Like, what do you mean they can change these policies and things like that? That was a huge wake-up call. But I did make my channel, well, I made my channel to help male teachers actually initially, because there was nobody like that I could find online that was like me, that was a guy that wanted to teach online. So that was like filling a void. And then I did create it around the idea that this would be for referrals. And now it isn't that necessarily completely that way now. And I've realized that you just can't build something around someone else's structures and
Yeah.
depend on that, right? So yeah, I think that's such a good point.
Okay, Tim, let's get to the real questions now.
Okay.
What's the worst thing about online teaching?
Oh man, the worst thing. To be honest, I find with VIPKID, it can be really boring. I love my students, don't get me wrong. Some of them are boring and some of the lessons are boring too. Like, let's be honest, right? Like sometimes, you know, I have a good group of core students that book fill my classes and I love them. But I find that sometimes that's it. Like I just find it can be a little bit repetitive and you know, you're sitting at the computer and I do a lot of work on the computer anyway. So I've talked about this on some of my lives when I've just had a really hard time wanting to do it, you know, and I feel that's weird to admit to myself because I feel like I have the best job in the world. I don't know if you feel that way. Like I feel like just it's such a wonderful job. Like I get to do what I love, which is teach. I love kids. I'm doing it at home, but there's, you know, there's sometimes a struggle bus with that, and I find it's isolating as well. You know, I don't have a family, so I find I have to make more effort to, you know, to be in community with other adults because
Yeah, you're a coworker, really.
yeah, yeah. So that's probably for me the worst parts. What about you?
Well, go watch Tim's Monday Lives. All right, he needs you. No.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I do them, just for friends.
Just for that connection, right? That
Yeah,
connection.
yeah.
For me, what's the worst thing about online teaching? It's I think the worst thing about online teaching, I think, can be sometimes the instability for me. Like that there's always something that's, you know, there's always some change coming. I think
Yeah.
the worst thing about online teaching is that as an independent contractor, you never know what's going to happen the next
Yes.
day. Like,
Yeah.
So Tim and I
know.
were talking because the GOGOKID they made big changes to the referral system or just the hiring process, and so we both put out like lots of new materials, and then I
Yeah.
put out this other thing for the mock class that I spent like a full 48 hours on, and then the next day they changed it, and I was like,
I know. And I didn't do anything with it, which I was really
"You were
glad
smart."
about. But I also was like, Danny, what is going on? I can't keep track of the changes because I kind of got lost in like what demo is current. It was weird. It was really crazy for a while.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah,
And they
I
gave
agree
us
with
like
you.
a week notice.
Yeah.
Just not a. I guess it's still. I mean, I'm thankful they. I guess even gave us a week, but I'm like.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
So that's my least favorite part. I think that's.
Where's the Panda demo? Like I put time and effort into that too, like doing a walkthrough for folks, and I mean I even had the Panda. Like it was like the best prop for that.
Panda is a crowd favorite always.
Yes, for sure.
Cries a lot in class.
Yeah.
He's not very mobile, but anyway. Okay.
So good. But I was going to say that with that, you know, I always say online teaching is like my core consistent income. But like you said, even with that, I can't, it could change tomorrow. It really could. So yes. I got a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit of going on everywhere.
100%. Okay, so let's then transition to, tell me about these businesses you've built now. So we know that online teaching is unstable. We both are advocates for building something of your own. You just had a new website course. Like, how has online teaching helped you build your own business? And also, we all want to know about your website course, and can people still take it?
Sure, yeah. So this was, you know, I've always wanted to, okay, well, online teaching started as just online teaching, and then I got into recruiting. So that was like another
it's a gateway,
part of the business. Right? Yeah, and then I started seeing and talking about this, you know, online teaching being your business. And I always say that on my videos. It's like, this is your business. We're independent contractors. Yes, we work for these companies, but this is your business that you can build and look at other things to, you know, diversify your income into. Maybe you want to do something completely different than teaching, but online teaching can help you with that. It can provide a consistent income a little bit on the side while you're working on something else. So I've always viewed it that way. And I've always kind of been entrepreneurial in my thinking, where I want to, do this and do that. It's been difficult, like, to figure out what, and, recruiting I've done really well with recruiting. So I've kind of stuck with that. And now it has sort of become a bit of passive income because I've created those structures and put them into place and systems. But I think online teaching is just helped me to, I don't know, get creative in thinking of other ways to serve and help teachers.
Yeah.
And so that's where a lot of things have come out of. This website product that I made was to help folks that wanted to create a website, because I know that can be really difficult for some people. And so I launched that a month ago, and I'm still learning every day of what's coming next. And I've been able to build up my YouTube channel, which has really been the vessel to be able to grow other things. So whether it's affiliate marketing or recruiting or a product, or helping traffic go to my website, it's all really started from the YouTube channel. So I guess the YouTube channel came out of starting with online teaching, and then it's grown into what it is today, which is sort of my home base, I guess, of everything. So
Yeah.
What about you?
I think that YouTube is the best thing that I ever invested my time into. And I'm the same as you. I got into it with online teaching. For me, I actually had the mindset when I first started with VIPKID. I was like, wow, it would be really cool to recruit, but there's so many people doing it. I had the imposter syndrome, like there's no room for me. And now I tell all my clients who are starting YouTube, I'm like, don't be old to me, don't think there is room for you. And I've seen it myself. And, you see new teachers all the time getting on the platform and just blowing up, right?
Yep.
Like Lainey Goff, she started on Outschool. Her channel has blown up because she provides helpful content and she's got an awesome personality, right? So there's room for everybody. And anyway, I'm going on a tangent, but YouTube is now like the base of my business because I'm able to build so many different streams of income from it. If you're already an online teacher and you feel comfortable talking to a camera, it's not that much different to like invest in yourself.
That's so true. I never thought about that, but those skills of teaching online are great, for someone that wants to start a channel.
Exactly. You already understand how to convey a message to someone, how to teach somebody something. So especially if you work with a company like Outschool and you are used to making your own curriculum, like that's super scary. If you can do that, you can put yourself on YouTube. Like I shake before my Outschool classes. I'm like, I have videos of me with my hands like this but anyway, so yes, YouTube has been amazing. And I think all online teachers start on YouTube. Maybe we're biased, but it pulls in so many streams of passive income now. Not all passive, but the affiliate links, now YouTube ads, now referrals. I get clients now who find me and say, yes, can you help me start a YouTube channel? That become my private coaching program. So it's a great place, and you can really gain that like, no trust, because people feel like they know you, because you can tell when someone's being not themselves on YouTube.
Yep. Yeah.
And the teachers that you think are being not themselves on YouTube, usually that actually is their personality. Where you're like, wow, that teacher's so bubbly, she can't actually be like that. No, she is. Like, you don't need everybody like, no, that's exactly you. I love it.
Yeah. So cool.
Okay. Let's look into the future now. How do you think online teaching is going to look in 2021? Oh, do the TPR. How do you think online teaching is going to look in 2021?
Well, I think that online teaching is definitely going to stick around. I don't think that these companies are going anywhere anytime soon. And as we've seen with, this year especially, companies are, going on hiring freezes and they're slowing down. Others are picking up. Companies are investing in other educational products that are bringing in students. And that's what's going on at GOGOKID, especially we talk about growth. I mean, they're like hiring like crazy right now. Some people worry that they're going to become a bit like VIPKID. I don't know. We'll see. I always like to think that they know what they're doing, and that, hopefully I know that they answer to investors, and there's all that kind of stuff behind the scenes as well. But so yes, I think that online teaching in 2021 is still a good thing, but I think it's so important to you know, be building other things. And I think that teachers are going to become more entrepreneurial in 2021. I think that OutSchool has been a huge
Yes.
vessel for teachers to think outside the box, that, hey, I can teach what I love, my passions on my own, maybe, or, you know, with a platform like OutSchool or another marketplace company. I think there's going to be more of those marketplace companies popping up. I had someone reach out to me a couple of weeks ago who wanted feedback on something, and he was trying to build his own, you know, platform that was similar to OutSchool. There's a few teachers that just created a company called Your Teachable Moment for adults. Have you heard about them?
No, actually, it sounds
No?
familiar, but
I think they're GOGOKID teachers. One of them is or VIPKID teachers. They're in the space, and Your Teachable Moment, and it's doing really well, and they've got lots of live classes for adults on there. So
oh,
I
that's
think that,
amazing.
I think that especially with this pandemic, the 2020, whatever you want to call it, has also, you know, shown that we can learn online, and you know, people are more inclined, I think, to learn online than ever before,
Yeah,
and teach online as well.
sure.
So I think it's exciting. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I just think that it isn't what it was, and we just have to be aware of that. And, you know, for those that are coming into the industry, you know, have realistic expectations and understand that you need to diversify your income. You need to apply to different places, and you need to find what works, because VIPKID is not for everyone. I think it can work really well for a lot of people. Same with GOGOKID, you know. I I like them. I've taught many classes with them, but I felt better with VIPKID, so I stuck with them. So yeah, that's what I think about 2021. I will still teach online. How about you? What do you think?
Yes, I'll still teach online, but I'm trying to keep building more of my
Yeah.
own things, right? So I will, as time goes on, I will rely less and less and less on that money I make from teaching and referring, because
Yes.
my goal is always to be building my own thing as much as possible. And I think, to your point, the future of online teaching for 2021 is also the most creative and like
Yeah.
scrappy teachers are the ones that are going to do the best, right? If you can really think outside the box and get creative with it. Like, I love teacher Natalie, who started the Princess Academy. Natalie's,
Oh, I think, did I see her on your channel?
Yeah, she was on my channel. You can watch that video. It's awesome. People are interested. She started her own company where she does both English classes and Spanish classes, and she also has a Princess Academy. It's called Do It for the Kiddos. And like, that's someone that took
So awesome.
her specific passion of, she's a model and a Disney princess and all these things.
Yeah.
And she made this really cool, and she said, I was going to do it on OutSchool, but they take 30%. Like, I'm just going to do it myself, and start her own company. Like, and it was so unique, and it combined everything that she loves and is good at. You can be that outside the box and creative, and just say,
Yeah, and I think that teachers, because I talk about teaching independently a fair amount, and have talked with a lot of people about it. And I think, and I do a little bit of it on my own. Actually, that's one thing I didn't mention, is I have a few of my own students that have one of them found me through YouTube, funny enough, and they live in Hong Kong. And then I got a word of mouth from them. And then I've had one student for 10 years.
what?
Since I taught in Beijing. I taught him as a first grader. This is a crazy story. Yeah, I taught him when he was 5 years old. I taught him last night. He's 15.
No, you're kidding me.
I'm not kidding. On Skype. So I've been teaching him online for 10 years. Yeah. Now it's been like,
When's the last time you saw him?
In person, I went to Beijing 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, had to collect that money. Had to collect the payment, because they don't pay me on, well, it's been a bit messy with WeChat Pay and stuff. So I didn't go there to get paid, but I went there to see friends that I still had there. But yeah, so that's been kind of an interest of mine as well, is like building that, and also helping others to build that.
I want to transition to something that I just want to talk about. So hopefully people are interested. Yeah. I think it's so cool that you live in Malaysia, and you know, I've been in Asia, and I've never actually been in Malaysia, but just, you know, Southeast Asia. And what are your feelings about people teaching and just moving abroad for a little bit. Do you recommend it? Should people do it? I mean, obviously, we're praying that 2021 brings this summer some openings where people maybe can travel.
Yeah, I don't know. I think about like going back to Canada, but I just can't imagine. I can't imagine doing it sometimes. Like, it's just such a great life. It's the cost of living is fairly low, and you know the experiences and the opportunities I've had are just it's amazing. So yeah, Malaysia's great. It's an undiscovered place because so many people want to go to Bali or Thailand or Vietnam, so they don't always think of Malaysia. They might transit through, but it is great. The food is amazing. People speak English well here, so it's not like you need to struggle with the language. And it's still, you know, pretty cheap to live here. So it's a good spot.
Highly recommend. I need to make my way to Malaysia eventually. Maybe that'll be my visa run. Malaysia.
A lot of folks go to Penang in Malaysia for like visa reasons.
I've actually had a lot of friends who've moved to Penang.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I'm going this weekend because they just opened up domestic travel. Yeah, so kind of looking at that. So
that'll be so nice.
You got to get back over here.
I know. I'm trying. I almost bought a ticket for January, and then I can't get into Vietnam now. So I'm hoping actually I'm gonna go to Bali probably.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm gonna be one of those digital nomads in Bali. Hacking away on my computer,
I might join you.
Drinking coffee, taking Instagram shots.
Smoothie bowls.
Yeah. I used to never want to go to Bali because I thought I'm like, oh, it's just too.
Yeah, everyone's doing it.
Is there cool? You know, it's all expats. Is there a lot of cool? I like to be places where I can really feel like immersed in a place and try and speak the language and eat all local food and that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and go there for a bit and just surf my heart out and then.
Oh, you're a surfer.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I am a surfer, and I've surfed a lot of different places poorly. But I've surfed a lot of places.
So the only surfing thing I've ever done was in Bali. I took a lesson and I stubbed my toe on the very first like attempt to get up, and my nail went into like the screw. Yeah, that's the only surfing I've ever done, and I had to have the nail removed.
Oh,
nasty! The whole thing, like
that's bad. That's it. You got to go somewhere where there's just like little baby waves and just sand.
It was basically it was like.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's not meant for you.
But just like
stick to the CrossFit, okay? Yeah.
Well, that's not really working out either.
CrossFit. I don't know if you knew, but he does CrossFit.
Right. So. Yes, I do CrossFit. Yes, and that's the first rule of CrossFit. You have to let everyone know. So I'm letting you all know.
All right, well, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for being on the channel. If you are interested in seeing, if you haven't seen the first part of this video, go check it out because I dish tons of gossip.
Yeah, it was great.
And also, check out Tim's website. Are you still offering your course right now?
Yeah, so it's a mini course on getting hired, what are we talking about? It's a mini course on creating your website. So I basically, you know, help you with if you don't know where to start, you don't have an idea, you're not really sure who you're serving or who you're speaking to, just some basic ways to get it set up using WordPress and hosting it and being the owner of your site and not, you know, paying lots of money for someone to design it for you, to start building it for yourself. Because I think that's really important. I'm so glad that I know how it works on my site so that I can make the changes and I can customize things. And so that's what it is. It's a course you can take whenever you want to. You can purchase it and then, do it at your own pace, but it's designed to be done in a short amount of time. So.
And I will say, I will attest to this. If you do not build your own website, you are really a slave to whatever person builds it for you because then whenever you want to make a change, you have to pay them to make the change because you don't understand how to do it. So I highly recommend you build your own website. It's so cheap. It's so worth it. It's such a value. Like if you want to build a website, it's so worth it. Like do it. And he breaks it all down.
And you don't need, it's not super difficult. You know, it's not like, I always thought you needed to have lots of, coding skills, and I don't have
not anymore, right? Not anymore. You used to, I think, but now it's pretty easy,
pretty straightforward. So that's where folks can find me on my website, onlineteacherdude.com, and my YouTube channel. So, yeah.
All right, Tim. Well, thanks so much. All right, you have to panda wave goodbye.
Let's do the panda wave.
Only online teachers. Only online teachers. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. See you at next
I
video.
know. Bye, panda.